directly, if I go towards the course objective, what we need to know about things. But before I go and understand this for you, I will just stop the presentation for some time and I'll go back to the class once again and I'll stop sharing as well. And I want the 30 members who are present over here to tell me, okay, raise your hand and then answer with your name, that what according to you is meant by communication. So please raise your hand and answer with your name because I don't really know any one of you, to be honest. And why I'm telling you this, because this subject has thing as the portions, which I'll come to that sometime later as well, that might be looked in a different way or different way for people, especially who are coming from biomedical engineering. Many of you I have seen in the registration are having that. So for them, it can be a different approach, different way of looking at it. So I want all of you to concentrate on this word communication and how and what do you mean by communication. So floor is open. Anyone can just answer it. Just raise your hand, tell me the name and you can answer. Anyone? Guys, just speak up. It's like no one is responding back. Why? Guys, are you there? Anyone? Anyone is there? Oh, no one is responding.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So tell
Uh,
me, simple. What do you mean by communication? Just the simple word.
so communication could mean exchange of information.
Absolutely. Anyone else can elaborate a little bit? This is Hari Priya, right? Yeah, I can see
Sending and
the name.
receiving of signals.
Yeah, Manish, please. Anyone else?
So
I think
sending and receiving of signals.
sending and receiving of signals. Okay, similar kind of things where signal, if I equate the signal to information, that's what Hari Priya also told. Anyone else can try? Anyone wish to try something to add up to the what they said? Okay, I'll reframe myself if that can be helpful for you. So as per what some of the answers came in, I want a little bit more participation from everyone actually. So the answer that we have gathered at least that it is a process in which the information or a signal is exchanged. That's what the communication is. So if I ask you a little bit further that is it possible, is it possible that or the way we are talking now, okay, this is also a part of communication, right? It should be a part of the communication because we are talking. So thus comes the question that what we can deliver or what information we can send over the uh, I would say over the wired or wireless condition and what you are going to receive. Right. Like for example, now I'm talking about this data with about the communication and all of you, those 30 odd people who are sitting over here, you can listen to my voice and you can listen to what I am saying. So the information from my side is being delivered to your side. Now this subject deals with that what happens in between the transmission and the reception. Okay, and what we have to understand is the principle of those techniques, okay, especially the analog way as well as the digital way, okay, so that we can, as a student and as a learner, can understand that how the process is involved for a communication engineer. Okay, I hope I have made it clear that what exactly is the intent of this subject, because it's not that it's there is a course and I have to register and I have to get through something, some marks and all. No, physically you have to understand some detail. Okay, so in that way, it's a very simple process, simple subject in that way, because it has been arranged in that order, because it is very important from any sphere, whatever the stream you are in. Okay, the knowledge of communication is very important. Why it is important? For example, just a small example. For example, I am talking over here, okay, and you are sitting back there and you are listening to it. Now suppose I would have sent this data in the raw format. Raw format means like there is no sampling. Just understand the term. There is no sampling. There is no filtering. There is no polishing of the data. Okay, I will just send you the raw information. What you would have found out that in that raw information, there would be so many amount of noise. Noise. Understand noise? Noise means something which is unwanted. So many unwanted elements which will come with that you are not in a position to eliminate that which one is the correct message and which one is a false message. So how do you categorize this? How will you come to know about this? The study of communication actually deals with the same. And for your case, the topic is that's why called as principle of communication engineering. That is the basic principles behind the analog communication as well as digital communication. We'll see everything step by step. I'll not hurry anything. So one by one, we'll understand what are the things. Okay, so again, I'll go back to the slides to understand. So this is our job to first show you the course outcome. So this is the course objective, to study about the elements and the type of communication systems. That's very basic and it should be understandable to all of you. Okay. To know about the concepts of synchronization in communication system. Why it is important? For example, I am talking now. This is the base example that is popular. I am talking with you now and you are listening to me right at the same point of time, right? Now, this is happening only because the system that we are in, that is Teams, in this case, Teams is a platform. And if suppose the other things we are just excluding from our discussion, so there must be some synchronization that is happening from the transmitter, that is me, to the receiver or multiple receivers like you. If the synchronization would have some issue, some problems will be there. So what we will find that you will find that there is a lag in the in the dialogue. When I am talking, you are not able to listen. Okay. Or again, if you are talking, I won't be able to listen. So we will usually say that there is a lag in the communication. Right. This is a common thing. Or maybe when you are talking, there is too much of noise, maybe it's coming. And because of that, it's getting the original signal is getting jumbled up. Okay, so that's another synchronization issue, that it is not eliminating the message from the rest of the process. Okay, and the synchronization is so important that the device that you are using, be it a mobile phone, be it a radio receiver, like some transmitter or receiver, the easiest receiver that you can have is basically the device, the mobile phone that you are using. So that if you only focus on mobile device for the time being, which is common to all of you. So if there is no synchronization mechanism available within the mobile device and the transmitter from where you are actually getting the information for that matter, you won't be able to catch hold of the detail rightly. So that is why we need to know about the concept of synchronization techniques. And finally, to familiarize with the concept of spread spectrum technique. Why? Because we have to, suppose we get a data, we get a information. After that, we have to analyze it. Because until and unless we are analyzing the data, we cannot come to a conclusion that what has actually happened with respect to a particular event. Right. So that is basically where the concept of spec system will come into picture. But that is at the very last end, like post Cat 2, we are going to discuss about. So hopefully this is clear from the course objective what we are supposed to achieve out of it from the course, and that's why the course outcome that we have is to acquaint the spectrum of amplitude modulated signal, which is a specific set of signals. I'll discuss everything in detail later on, and the design system for generation and demodulation of amplitude modulated signals. Very, very simple processes, very much you will be able to understand the concepts, how we are going to do it. So that's one thing. Secondly, understand the importance of power. Okay, power efficient schemes. That's very, very important. Students, please understand this, that power, if you have devised anything, okay, in electronics, anything which is power efficient, which takes less power to operate, that will be the best solution for that device. Again, to come back to the mobile devices, which all of you are more familiar with, irrespective of which stream you are in, and you are all familiar with devices and the specifications. You will find in the specification of mobile device, always people keep on focusing how much is the battery life. What is the mAh battery, the size of the battery, the capacity of the battery. Why? Because we are bothered whether the device that we are going to use has a power backup or is it power efficient or not. Even the laptop, maybe some of you are sitting with the laptop. So those who are sitting in laptop, you might be having a power backup of 5 hours or 6 hours with the battery that you are in. So laptops will give us that a unique feature that the system will run for this much of time. Similarly, power efficient way of communication is very, very important. So that we are going to explore in greater detail, both for analog as well as for digital communication. Third one, familiarize with fundamental concepts and design issues in modulation and demodulation. Okay, that is angle modulation. We'll come to that later. Don't go by the terms. Don't just ignore those terms. I'm telling you just the process in that way. Know about the digital modulation technique. So the other half of the syllabus is the digital modulation. Simply, if I tell you, digital is basically ones and zeros. Okay. So if you have a signal, like the one that I'm talking now, the voice call that I'm doing now, that is an analog signal. What is analog signal? What is digital signal? We'll come to that later. But that is basically analog signal. But whatever I am speaking now, it can be converted to some form of a digital medium, digital format of 1010 pattern. Now, if I go on doing the communication with those 1010 sequence, because they are the same. If I just happens to draw it over here, just to give you an insight of it. So suppose I have a voice signal, something like this. Okay, this is a voice signal. Now the voice signal is analog in nature. Why it is analog? As you can observe clearly, although we will discuss it sometime later, as you can observe why it is analog, because with respect to time, if I consider, there is a continuity in the overall process. There is every small little minuscule time that you are looking at, there is some kind of a sample which is present. But it has its own disadvantages, for which we will convert that, okay, in almost all the modern equipments and all, to some kind of a digital format. For example, like this. and this up and down will be represented as 1 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 0 like that, so on and so forth. So basically the same voice signal will now be digitalized. Communication using this analog signal, we will call it the analog communication. If I go on doing the communication using the digitalized format of the signal, we will call as the digital communication. So in your syllabus, we actually have the analog as well as digital communication both in a superficial manner. We have been told, like when I followed the previous year papers and the materials that we have, it's all superficial. It's not that we are going to expedite more into numericals, very detailed analysis and all those things. That is not required. Okay, for you to understand only that, see, the know about the digital techniques. You should know that how things work. That's the basic bottom line. Another thing is identify the significance of synchronization, as I told you right now, and study the concept behind the spectrum analysis. As I said, that this is the analysis part. This is the analysis part. That after I get an information, what do? I'll analyze. And based on the analysis, I'll come to a conclusion that whether it's good or bad. Simple as that. Okay, so that all this are coming under the course. Now, coming to the syllabus that we have on hand. So you can observe that there are 7 modules, as in most of the modules we have. In that, we usually what I want you to focus is that this part up to the 3rd module. Okay, this is all about the analog communication. As I was telling you, the analog way. So these are all primarily the analog communication and its details. Okay, now this portion that you are looking at, this is where the digital part will come in. Okay, and finally you can see the synchronization comes somewhere here, as you can see mentioned over here, and the spectrum comes somewhere over here. So the whole syllabus and its objective as well as its outcome, I think, is clear to you. In all probabilities, the portion of these 3 modules, okay, hopefully I can finish it by that time, but let's see what we can do. This will be your Cat 1 syllabus. All right, this will be your Cat 1 syllabus. Whereas this part of the 4th and 5th module, most probably this will be your Cat 2 syllabus. But again, this is tentative. This is not that we are going to, we will see that whether we are able to finish it on time. So 4th Cat, we are going to do the portion over here. All right. So this is basically the modalities that we are going to follow. Hopefully we will stick to the time frame, and we are going to finish it on time, and we can come out strong with the portion that we are going to complete. Any doubt with this till this point? Anyone? Any doubt? Anyone? Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir. Okay. Right. Now coming to the books and references. Okay. This is again, I think there is no end to this list, to be honest. You can, if you go and Google it with books, Principle of Communication, with the title Principle of Communication, ebooks and all, you will get multiple books on the same. Although Simon Haykin, this is the conventional book that we usually follow. Okay, most of the syllabus content, whatever you are looking at in the previous slide, they are all taken from the Simon Haykin. This is a generic book. I don't know how many of you know Simon Haykin, because Simon Haykin had another book on digital communication as well. So that book also is like, we call it the Bible of digital communication, because everything and anything answers on digital communication, we usually go and search in Simon Haykin, and we'll get the answers. Along with that, we can also refer to Frokes, Tyler. There is BP Lathi. There's a book by BP Lathi. That's in. That's also a very good book. There is someone called P Chakravarti. Okay. P. Chakravarti, his book is also pretty good. And there are 1,000 others authors you will find. They will have their books. So whichever you feel like, if at all my material is not sufficient for all of you, you can definitely look into this kind of book for more knowledge. Okay, but before referring to it, if possible, please show me the references and then go ahead with it, because there will be many portions or many cases where it will be redundant. Same thing in different ways it will be mentioned. So I don't think you will need more inputs or more references apart from what I will suggest you as a course material. That will be sufficient for you. Okay. Other than that, if you need, you can refer to them. All right. So this is basically the books and references. I know that you people are unfortunately very fond of textbook reading. I have seen very few people going to the library while you people are here to gather the books or read the textbooks for that matter. So I am hopeful that at least this batch will start reading these textbooks if possible. They can you can collect it from some sources and you can go ahead with it. All right, so this is basically the books and references for our subject. Comes the mode of evaluation. Okay, so this is basically the marks configuration that we call the rubrics that we are going to follow. So usually in this case, we have 2 quizzes and 1 DA apart from the regular CAT 1 and CAT 2 examinations. And quiz 1 and quiz 2 ideally will be suited between module 1 and module 2. That is ideally the analog communication part. Quiz 2 again will be between the third and fourth, or maybe the fourth, fifth. It's just tentative. Okay. So basically it's a maybe the digital communication portion, maybe we'll stick to that quiz only. And DA will be primarily the last segment, which we don't have any quizzes. Those portions will be taken care of by the digital assignment. But apart from that, there is something very interesting which is there at the bottom, and that is called surprise short MCQ tests. Okay, so all what I can say that there are 2 reasons why I have introduced this MCQ test, short surprise test for the last few years. In fact, for 2 reasons. One, that at least I will have a knowledge of whether we are at the same page, whether I am able to deliver you the lectures and the detail, and whether you are into that mode that you are accepting what I'm saying and you are replying back in that way. Okay, so that is what the surprise test, one of the reason of surprises. So I'll be sharing you the forms link. There will be a time slot, maybe 15 minutes, 14 minutes, like that. And it will be a very short test of maybe 5 questions to 6 questions based on whatever we have studied in class. Okay, there won't be any like specific syllabus or anything. It's just that suppose we have finished 2 classes, I might take an MCQ based test on the 3rd class based on what we have studied on the first 2 classes. Understand? So that is how the test will be. So one is the reason, as I told, that in that way you are in touch in understanding mode of the subject. And the second one that I think important is that suppose in this 2 segment of CAT 1 and CAT 2, okay, you have not done well for all good reasons. You might not be able to perform well during the CAT 1, CAT 2 exam. So I will take into account this. I would say, I might take into account the effort that you have put in this short MCQ test. Okay. And based on that, I might add up few of these marks to compensate your loss during your CAT 1 and CAT 2. Why? Because we don't have an additional learning for any of the courses now. So you cannot really have anything more than that. You cannot go on extending the marks as such that we had usually. So what I would suggest you to do, that you give this test properly. Okay. And based on that, if at all, I hopefully all of you will do well in CAT 1 and CAT 2, so we don't need to look into this short MCQ test at all. But I will see that whether you have a gradual improvement or have you done favorably well during the entire course, but somehow during the CAT 1 or CAT 2, you have let yourself down. Okay, then maybe I can compensate some portion from that part. All right, so this is what the basic objective behind this short MCQ test. And again, as I tell you, I won't be repeating it, and that I won't be announcing anything that today whether will be an MCQ test. So don't message me or tell me, sir, will there be a test today? I would say no. I would say no, but I might go and take the test on that day itself. And if you are failing it to attend it, it doesn't matter because it doesn't necessarily be like you have to give. Simple as that. Because it's not an attendance and all those things. But ideally, you should be keeping that in mind and you keep a backup for anything that goes wrong later. Because you never know what might happen in quiz 1, in quiz 2, or the assignments for that matter. So whatever comes to you, you just should take into accountants that this might be helping me later on. Okay, and eventually it's better because you actually have a feel of the subject and the topics being covered, so you will be on the same. So that is basically the idea behind the evaluation. Any doubt with this part? Anyone having any doubt with the rubrics? Okay, this is a silent most class, I think, that I'm coming across. Guys,
No, sir,
be
no doubt.
be free. Don't worry about anything. You just be free with me, and let me know if you have any doubt, any concerns at any point of time. All right. I don't know whether you met your seniors or you are in touch with your seniors and all. So you can go and ask them about how I usually go about doing my jobs for the subjects. So I don't think I have taken any subjects for biomedical students in before. But for any good reason, if you still have any contacts with your seniors or in BC or BIS students for that matter, just go and ask them about it. Okay. So don't be silent when I'm asking something. You just go and don't worry about what sir will say, what will happen. Don't worry about it. All right. Worry should be from my side, not from your side. You should not be worried. All right, so let me not start anything as such or for today, but whatever the time we have, um, let me just should I show you something? Let me see what we have in store. Uh, okay, this I think we can do it sometime later. Before that, maybe I'll just brief on something which I want all of you to answer. Some of these terms. Okay, I'll just switch off my video for just 1 minute. Yeah. So hopefully you can see this white screen. So what I'll do is, first of all, I would like to give you the formal definition, okay, of a communication. I think that will be enough for today. So the first thing that you can make a note of it if you want. Later on, it might help you during your CAT 1 when you are going to refer your notes and all. So it is a process. Okay, it is a process. What is communication? If I consider, or what is principle of communication? It is a process of establishing connection between two or more points for information exchange. All right. So this is basically what we are looking at uh, with respect to communication. That's where we started off our discussion with that. What exactly is communication? So it is a process to establish a connection between between two or more points Now these 2 points can be anything. It can be like, as I said, it's a mobile devices, 2 mobile devices. It can be 2 radio devices, or laptops maybe. Okay, it's a radio communication, maybe a walkie-talkie for that matter, satellite communication with the base stations. Okay, anything that you want, that all comes under the communication. All right. The fundamental block structure, if I consider for a communication, I guess hopefully all of you are clear with the communication part. So what we have to do is that we have some thought, okay, or pattern. I'll define this way because I would keep it as a general. We might have some kind of an image, okay, or we can have some kind of an audio, or we can have something like a visual. Okay, so all this forms the information. Okay, all this forms the information. So it can be anything, as it's mentioned here, information exchange. So what can be information? It can be any thought. Okay, it can be some pattern, it can be image, it can be audio, video, whatever you feel like. Now this pattern or this information needs to go to something like called as, please make a note, encoded, or this is the first time I'm using modulated, or in general we will call it the processed output. So as I was telling you, the raw data. Okay, so the raw data is this part, the part that I'm calling as information. But if I happens to send this raw information over some mean, it will get completely lost. All right. So that's why we have to encode it. We have to modulate it, or in general, you understand in this way that we need to process it somehow. Okay. Until and unless we are processing it, it is of no use. We have to go on repeating the transmission again and again, but there won't be anything that we are going to receive. After this is done, after the encoded portion is done, we are going to use this encoded data or modulated data for transmission. Okay, and transmission, but transmission via channels, another new term that comes in, channels. So we have to send the data. Now, the channels, what can be the channels? What is channel? Channel is the medium. So it can be either wired or wireless in nature. I guess all of you are familiar with mobile phones. So mobile phone falls under a wire, whether it is a wireless or wired connection. Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me whether mobile communication, is it a wired or a wireless communication?
Wireless.
Wireless communication. But you have some time back, you used to have a landline connection. Like those landline phones, they were all wired connections. So either wired or wireless. This is only for the phones I'm talking about. Even in case of the laptops also, you can see, you can observe that the laptop is also kind of a like a flexible device. You can keep it. It's a mobile device. It's a mobile device, but we can take it from one point to another also in the same way. But its vicinity is smaller. They're not unlike to mobile phone. It has a longer radius, and even when you are running, you are in mobility. You have your own speed of movement. Mobile phone you can work, but laptop you cannot. Okay, so that's basically the transmission via the channel. Now this data, while it's coming from the channel, okay, now this data, when you are transmitting over the channel, we have to receive it. Okay, so the receiver or the other end will be the replica of what is being transmitted. The same set of modules, we will see that in the next class. All the same modules will be the same, only except that it will be do the opposite to the transmission. So this received data is important. Why? Because based on this received data, we are going to find the parameters. What are the parameters? For example, what are the bit error rate? What can be the quality of service? Okay, so bit error rate, BER, we call it in short, or quality of service. Don't get confused. This term will come later on as well. I'm just showing you the basic structure. So these are the parameters we are looking at. After we know this parameter, what is the role? The last and the final module that comes in over here would be a feedback. And what is the role of this feedback? It will take the input from this. It will take the input from the received data, and it will throw this information out to the raw data about what has happened during the entire course of action. That is, if the data that you have sent is correct or not, whether you need a retransmission, whether the power that you are sending is too much, whether the power you are sending is too less, and etc. Multiple other values. Understand? So this is basically the overall structure of a communication from start to end, and what are the process that is in. So I think we can stop our meeting for today. And because for the first day, I think it will be a little too much for you if I go on, and even the time is 2:50 almost.